The DA has had a change of heart. They've now decided to get rid of election posters with a controversial messaging and since apologized. But the ANC still wants the DA to be punished for having put up these posters. First, ENC's Dasen Thathiah spoke to the ANC's Jessie Duarte, who's campaigning in Phoenix and is joining us now on the Midday View. Good afternoon, Dasen. Tell us what did Miss Jessie Duarte have to say about these DA posters, which now have been removed, and the opposition party has apologized.
Well, the timing is very interesting because as the Deputy Secretary General was in Phoenix to campaign and to introduce the ward councillor candidate here, at the same time, we received a statement from the DA's KZN chairperson, Dean McPherson, saying that they would be taking down those posters. That's the offending poster there behind me, the one that says the ANC called you racists and the DA calls you heroes. The party is now saying that it was not sanctioned, or rather Dean McPherson is saying that it was not sanctioned by the party leader or the party structures. It makes one wonder how these posters were actually then put out. He also says that he realizes that it has caused hurt and it's been offensive to many people for what's happened here, and he specified that they still are condemning vigilantism. So while that was happening and while that statement came out, Jessie Duarte was here talking to people at the Phoenix Plaza, which is a shopping center here. She's engaging with people. And this has now become, Phoenix has become hot property for all political parties in the lead up to the local government elections. So she says that they will now be taking the DA, despite them choosing to take the posters down, they'll still be writing to the SA Human Rights Commission to complain about the message that these posters had displayed. Let's listen to what she had to say about that.
Disappointing for us as the ANC to see this poster that has created quite a lot of debate in the country. For us, that poster is not actually anything new. Over the last 30 years, the DA has in every campaign had a fight back campaign. And they've brought forward their colonial mentality of divide and rule, as they've done in the Western Cape. And they're hoping that they can use race as a mechanism to get people to vote for them as a better option than any other option. Our view is that when you promote racism, you've already lost the cause. But more importantly, that poster promotes vigilantism and criminality. People died in Phoenix. People of all national groups died in Phoenix. And people died in a way that was unacceptable to all of us.
It doesn't seem, Dasen, that the DA's latest action, including the apology, will be accepted by the ANC. Just listening to what Ms. Jessie Duarte was saying there.
No, not at all. The ANC has said once again that they are not surprised by the actions of the DA. And in asking Jessie Duarte what is then the ANC stance on campaigning here, and I'll tell you why I'm asking that, because in saying that they are against that poster, they are also then in turn insulting or offending others. You know, I guess you can never really please anyone, because there are some in this community that do in fact believe what those posters say, that they were heroes here for whatever reason, whether it was for defending their communities or whether it was for their actions of vigilantism. You know, there are different opinions on that. And I was asking her how that will affect their campaigning, and she says that they will maintain a non-racial stance despite that. Even though it may not be an easy road, they're choosing that stance and hoping that that message will catch on. It's certainly not going to be an easy journey, but let's listen to the other part of the conversation that we had with Jessie Duarte.
The photos those pictures stayed up for a very long time, and it's created a lot of damage already in the minds of people. It's created new anger that had abated already, and this is what we must undo. It has given a perception of racism is okay and vigilantism is okay. the message has resonated. It will not go away that easily. So taking the poster down is a good thing, but we will go ahead with the Human Rights Commission complaint.
Okay, they're going to go to the human rights and they acknowledge checking it down is a good thing, but there's been damage done. I'm wondering, Dasen, as you've been in Phoenix, just very briefly, have you gauged the sentiment of the people there? Because there was that peace forum that was set up after those 36 people were killed and the violence that we saw in Phoenix. I wonder how they are feeling and about these divisive posters.
Well, when our colleague Letiwe Mdluli spoke to that peace committee, they were not happy about it because they were saying that this now takes them back because they were trying to move forward, trying to bring all of these parties together. But these types of statements and these brash statements are not what they need right now. But further to that, Jessie Duarte also spoke about something else that has been very relevant in the conversation about Phoenix. She says that the talk of social cohesion and the efforts towards that were not as prominent since the late 80s. And she says and admits that that decision to stop such an active move towards social cohesion could have been a mistake on their parts because there was an assumption that enough had been done until that point. But now she's realized that it's time for those efforts to be accelerated because especially when you see issues like those that were cropping up here in Phoenix, it reminds them as a party that more needs to be done, and that is the route that they are wanting to take.